Cool, cool, cool. Check my audio. Yep, it's up. Cool. So this guy's sign on. Hi, Gianna. I'm a few minutes early. What a beautiful hot day. How you doing, Ronnie? Hope everybody's doing wonderful. Hope everybody's doing good. It's been a while since I did a two-stroke Tuesday. Been super busy and a lot of projects, a lot of bikes, a lot of stuff going on.
Can I say hi?
Yeah, you can say hi. Come on.
Hi.
Hey, they didn't want to see your hand. Show them who you are. Say hi. Come on, say hi.
Hi.
All right, good.
Oh, wait.
Now get out of here. Yeah, right. No more hitting my subscribers with your cranium. Kid's got a head like a watermelon. My goon. So we are working on Dave's bike. Coming to the end of Dave's bike, we have to just finish off the carburetor, and that's it for that. Then that bike's out of here, and then we're on to Robert's bike, which is a super cool DT 400 Yamaha. Bike is huge, guys. Don't mind me. I keep going like this. It is very hot. I got the air conditioners at full power. It is crazy. 110 degrees in my shed. I pulled the carburetor out. This one here to talk to you guys about. And it was literally in the drawer, in my carburetor drawer, hot to the touch. I had to let it cool down in the house. So it's been crazy. Yeah, it's been awesome. So, on Dave's bike, we're having a carburetor issue. And when I removed the plug, I tried to adjust the carburetor. Couldn't adjust it. No matter which way I turned it. And then off camera, after I took the carburetor apart, I had taken the needle mixture screw out right there. Now that adjusts the airflow into the idle circuit, and you spray it through the front here with carburetor cleaner or brake cleaner, and it will come out the side. Hey, Jimmy! It would come out. It would shoot out the what you call idle mixture screw, and it would shoot out back here. It did not do that. It shot it in here. It came out here, and nothing out the back. So the idle circuit on the DS 125 is in fact clogged up, which we have to work on unclogging it. We hit 104. Wow, Brian, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's really nuts that the weather has been so hot. I couldn't even go out to the shed. It's crazy. No, this carburetor right here is actually a PWK26. It's a new carburetor. I got this carburetor to show you guys. This carburetor's actually never had gas in it. This is my dummy carburetor. I like to show you guys what they look like online. I can take them apart. These have simple circuitry in them, which means I can explain these a whole lot easier sometimes than the factory carbs. And they have all the same stuff. So pretty cool. So they're it's a very good quality carburetor. This is the pop-on type. So if you have the intake with the circle hole, this pops onto it and holds it up like that. Where the KEs have the clamp style up top, and then the DSs and the Suzukis have the 2-bolt flange like the Hondas. So I have a new bike, guys. I have a new bike. It's coming up on Monday from a great friend of mine and a great friend of the channel, Harvey Spooner. We traded for a what do you call it there? A Honda CT70, but it's a silver badge, silver tag bike. Very cool bike. Oh, you're very welcome. Going to answer your video. You keep up the great work. Thank you. I appreciate that. Reminds me of the Bill job. Yep, the Mifunis are the best carburetors. This is a $36 knockoff on carburetors. It's a flat slide carburetor, and it features a power jet. So if you look right here, you can see this hose. Let me see, look up the camera here. You see this hose coming off the bottom? That is not a vent. what that actually does is when the throttle, let's see if I can open it. Okay, I got my thumb on the backside there. Okay, so when you open up the throttle to about a quarter speed, the airflow comes in here and is pulling from the idle circuit. When you get to about over a quarter, to like a half to 3/4, then it goes off the main jet. When you open it up full throttle, that's when this right here starts taking fuel up, and right up in there, see that right there, that little hole, right where my finger is? That is a third jet called the power valve, if they will, power jet, and it's adjustable from up top, and that literally makes these bikes scream. It is a great design, and it's been race proven. However, this little guy right here will not fit in a KE100. It's too small. Not too big, I mean. Sorry. So if I could find a small one, these right here would be the way to go. They also make a insert for in here. It comes down like this, like an X, and what that does is it breaks up the air and controls the when the throttle's open. It directs the air, concentrates the air to the opening, and that gives you more horsepower as well. You find that type of technology mostly on snowmobiles, jet skis, that sort of thing. But they're really, really cool. Cool, easy to work carburetors. Got the pull choke right on the top there, and they work out great. And then you get your fuel inlet in the same place as the KEs. And what else can I tell you about this? The carburetor mixture screw on this one. Not really sure how to adjust. Oh yeah, it's right on the side there, right where the other one, where the KEs were or are, I should say. Other than that, a real basic, simple carburetor. Here's your idle speed, your choke once again, and you can take this choke off and put the push down type. Hey, Larry. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't been able to do one in a while, so I think, you know what, I'll do one, and we'll talk a little bit about Dave's bike and what's going on with that. So, the idle circuit is clogged. Now, not that big of a deal. In the case that the carburetor is going to be cleaned in the ultrasonic cleaner, it's too hot to do that. So, I think tonight's supposed to rain here in Massachusetts. Tomorrow's supposed to be rainy and all that. So, it's a great day to get out to the shed and get that ultrasonic cleaner crack-a-lacking and get that carburetor clean and get that back onto his bike. In the event that the carburetor cannot be cleaned and that the jet is too far plugged up, I'm really not worried about, because I have another carburetor in my drawer that I can easily slap onto it. But I don't want to be going through carburetors unless absolute, because, you guys know how the parts are. Mike, I'm not really sure what that is. But the carburetor, once I mount that on there, it's a really good carburetor. And the factory Mikuni's, not this one. These are Chinese knockoffs. These are junk. But you will get power out of them until there's something about the material that they're made of. These are here clog up pretty easily. I mean, they're really not top of the line carburetors by any stretch of the means, but they do work, and they do work well as long as you drain them out when you're done with them. Don't let them sit. So you guys can take some of my drink here. So, yep, and a bike came in today from Ken. Ken dropped off his Kawasaki KE. I'm giving you guys a little insight to my first look video that I haven't posted yet. You guys are hearing it first. A beautiful green KE 175 he brought up here. He's been watching my videos, loves the channel. He's really followed my instructions, but he got in a little bit over his head. So he asked me if I could take a look at it. I said absolutely. So he brought it up today, and it's going to be a really cool bike. Yep. You're very welcome, Ken. So, and he's here in the chat. What's the top 3 things I should really maintain on two-stroke? Top 3 things to really maintain for engine longevity. Yes, that is a good one. And it's really simple. Adjustments. Make sure that your oiler is adjusted. Make sure that the oil tank vent is not plugged up with sometimes like it's a it's like a spider or something that builds a nest inside of a tube. You want to make sure your tubes are clean. You want to make sure that your oiler is adjusted and you're using good quality oil. Guys, these bikes were designed before synthetic. Okay, I see a lot of people on the forums going, "Oh yeah, I'm running this awesome synthetic oil. It's 100% synthetic and it's made for motorcycles." Okay, that's great. Just because it said it's made for motorcycles doesn't mean it's made for your decade of motorcycles. You follow what I'm saying? Like for instance, Harley Davidson has an oil out there and it's made it's full synthetic oil. They don't use the same type of clutch that we use. It's okay to run that. My Yamaha Virago you can run a synthetic in that. You cannot run a synthetic in my KE100 unless you want clutch problems down the road. It may not happen at first. Kind of like when an engine leans out on you. When the engine is about to lean out, this is a totally different subject, but when an engine's about to lean out, it's like a 100 on steroids. It shits and gets. I mean, you hit that throttle and that thing just comes to life. Power like you read about. Like, wow, I never see anything. And then it goes to too much power and then it burns out. Okay? That's how a lean condition graduates. Okay? If you don't know what your bike is supposed to be doing and it does something like that, that's a problem. So what I'm saying is you want to make sure that you're using the proper stuff for your bike. Longevity. If you have points ignition, this is a points plate right here. You have your points right up here and your condenser. Let me tell you what this is, okay? This takes a charge from your magneto flying around here, okay? So you get your coil. Which one is it? This coil right here makes the power for your bike, for your ignition, okay? That thing takes the power, puts it to here, and this is your switch. This opens and closes every time the spark fires. So when you see a spark, that opens. Boom, okay? Little cam pushes up on it. This, what is it? This and this, the spark plug, the points, and condenser are all part of a tune-up. I see people on the, I need a coil. I have no spark. I need a coil. No, hold on. These bikes are very simple. On the newer bikes, you have what they call a CDI. One of these, okay? This, all what this is an electrical set of points, okay? Instead of using mechanical open and close, it uses a transistor to do that, okay? And has a lot more wiring, okay? This is all part of a tune-up, your points and condenser. You don't need to replace the whole what do you call it, the magneto and stator. You just need to replace your points and condenser. That's it, and your plug. Always replace these three together. When should you do that? Once every other year. You want to make sure you're doing a tune-up regularly. Now, if you don't run the bike and you're not putting a lot of mileage on the bike, then you could probably go even 5 years without doing it. As long as you make sure your bike has a gasket that goes around the cover and make sure that you keep your points clean. Part of that is keeping the bike in a nice, clean, dry environment. If you're leaving it in a shed that gets a lot of moisture, condensation, if you live in like Seattle, Washington, where it rains a lot, and you got a leaky roof on your shed, you're gonna want to address these a little bit more. But if you're living in like Arizona, where it's very dry, things don't really rust, then you probably, and you're not putting many miles on it, you're probably just gonna need to clean them. That's it, and make sure that this felt, see that felt right there? That's just a piece of fabric. It's a felt. You need to put oil on that because if you don't oil that felt, see this little bar on the bottom of the points? That's a wear bar. Okay, that right there is what opens and closes your points. So the cam rides on that. This right here oils this. If you do not oil that, you will wear this out, then your points will lose their gap. When that happens, your bike is not going to run right. It'll start to hesitate. It'll start to give you ignition problems, and then eventually you'll lose spark. So it's very important to keep these maintained. To give you an honest answer on 3 things to maintain, there are actually more than 3 things. Those are a few of the ones that are the major things. One thing you need to remember is today's gasoline is running ethanol. Ethanol is a corn oil. Corn is a vegetable. Corn needs water to grow and to live. So, any moisture around or outside the tank or in the environment, that fuel is going to absorb that water. It's going to do its best to absorb the water because by nature, corn needs water. So, that's what causes everything to fail. That's how it starts. The fuel breaks down, corrodes, deteriorates, and turns it actually, if you take cup of fuel, when you go to a gas station, you put it in a cup, put it in a place where it's not going to be in any danger, and you'll watch that actual will turn green. The fuel turns green. It's like a yellowish green color, and that's the fuel turning bad. That takes about 30 days. The original fuel it didn't have any of that ethanol in it, so it lasted a lot longer. So if your bike is going to be sitting or you're not using a lot of mileage like on the bike, take the carburetor bowl off and drain it out and let it dry it out because you don't want that to turn the varnish. That's one of the major things that I do on all my bikes when I put them away for the winter is I drain the carburetor fuel bowl. And I don't leave fuel in the tank because today's fuel will rot out of tank quickly. It's very bad fuel. Very bad. You can go to Home Depot and Lowe's and places like that, small energy shops, and get, it's called VP fuel. It's 97 octane and it's non-ethanol. It's the old gas. Excuse me. That old gas, or 110, what do you call it there? 110 racing fuel is also non-ethanol. Those are great fuels to have. Oh my God, Mike, 93, yeah. It was 96 here today with a real feel of 103, and it was terrible. In my shed, the little thermometer I have in there said 110 degrees, and when I opened up the shed door, it literally was like a heat wave punching me in the face. I mean, look at my hair. You know what I mean? So it was pretty bad. It's like, whoa, that's awful. So yeah, back on the 3 things. Make sure you're keeping your oil clean and changed, and make sure that the vent and the vent's clear. The oiler is adjusted. Make sure you got fresh fuel in that bike or an additive to keep it that way. Change your plug regularly and service your points if you have them. And that's pretty much it. That's all you really need to do with the engine. The bike is a different story. You're going to want to check your fork oil. You're going to want to check your chain tension, your gear, your sprockets, your tires, and your spokes. A lot of people don't check their spokes. Spokes will wear out. I'm going to be doing a video on that because I have a Suzuki DS100. The front rim is junk. It has the spokes have worn thin. Really not cool. Really not good. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing videos on all that, and I can't wait to get that bike back in and get that working on. So yeah, we have a lot of bikes. A lot of bikes. And guys, once again, when you see Ken's bike, you're gonna flip. This bike is gorgeous. It is like a metallic green. I'm gonna give you guys a little teaser, and I got to see it. I have it here. It is a metallic green color, and it's like the 70s green. It is gorgeous, and the side cover, the bike is just beautiful. The paint is nice. The black on the frame is beautiful. The bike is really super cool, and it's really an honor to work on it. I love working on vintage Kawasaki two strokes, and we're going to be doing a comparison video between Ken's bike and Alvin's bike because I have Alvin's KE 125 and I have Ken's KE 175, and when I tell you they are close, they are close. You're going to love it. What's why some people use jet airline gas? Well, jets don't really use gasoline. They use more of a kerosene type mix in the airplanes. But there is a gasoline for smaller planes, and that fuel is extremely high octane. It's like 110, 105 to 110, and it's really pure gas. In other words, when you put that in your bike, you're going to know you put that in your bike, and your bike is going to love it. So here's how it works. The higher the octane, the cooler the bike runs. Okay? So if you're running premium gas, the bike is actually running cooler. And the higher the octane, the less piston slap and ping, or engine knock, they call it. So it's really, really cool. And if you can get your hands on some, I would run your bike completely out and then put that in there and try it out. You're going to love it. It's really, really nice fuel. Do you have a battery on? What bike do you have? First off, recommendation. You can go if you're looking for a non-acid sealed battery. Recommended. Okay, the TS125. Yes, there is a battery under the. If you're sitting on the bike on the right side cover, take that cover off. It's right in there. If you go over to a place called Batteries Plus, they can get you a sealed battery or a regular liquid filled battery. The batteries on these bikes do not last because the charging system is so weak. So the battery really doesn't. But you want to have a battery in there because if you don't use a battery, you will blow your headlight out and marker lights and tail lights because the battery absorbs a lot of the voltage. If you take that out, your headlight's going to go super bright and then it's going to pop. Hi, Nate. Just bought a basket case, 2000 KE 100, and really appreciate all the info. Oh, you're very welcome, Nate. That's awesome. Is a red color and purple. Oh, your bike has a rear color, green and purple. That is, I tell you, it's this particular green is a metallic green, and you can see the flake in it. The tank is gorgeous. The whole bike is beautiful. The seat's great. Everything is great on this bike. It is a really sharp bike. Really super cool bike. I'll tell you, I got in. You know, I've always had the 100s and stuff like that, and I get bikes all the time, and I really have to be careful because you can really just move right up right up. I have my 1100 Yamaha, which I absolutely love, but I'm looking at some of these bikes, and they are just amazing. You know, the way they're built, the way they're designed. I love working on them. I do. Vintage Kawasaki's, vintage Suzuki's, Hondas, all the Yamahas. It's neat to see how much they have in common, and it's neat to see how much they're unique. You know what I mean? And like on my KE 102, that's got Kawasaki parts, Honda parts, Yamaha parts, and Suzuki parts. I mean, it's a collaboration of all the best. You know, so it's pretty neat to be able to build a bike like that. But when you get into like the bigger bikes, the the 175s, the 185s, those sort of things. It's pretty neat to show them on the channel. So we have a lot of cool bikes that are coming up, and I have Matt's KE100 here. We're going to be doing that as well. So we have a lot of bikes to go through, put together, and just really hammer down. So once this weather breaks, yet again, it's been a weird year. Once this weather breaks, we're going to be back out there and getting that stuff done. Robert's bike is next on chopping block, and when you see that, what's going to be going on with that, you're going to be like, what? It is beautiful. It is a beautiful bike. And I think we can get this done fairly quickly, so I'm pretty excited about it. That's my plan anyway. So we're going to be busting out bikes. Boom, boom, boom. And the bike that's coming up from Harvey Spooner is a, what do you call it there? It's a Honda CT70. And it's one of those mini bikes you wanted as a kid, you know. And it's a 70. And it's going to be compared to my KE175. We'll be doing comparison videos. And I'll show you what they have in common, because they do have stuff in common. And they have a lot that is not in common. So, and we'll be just going through all of them, you know. So, excuse me. Very tired. Very tired. Ow. Hold on. I had my friend out today moving some stuff. Oh my God, was it hot. Jeez and crow. It was super, super hot. And I don't work well outside in the heat. I just don't do good with it. That was hot. But we are hitting some numbers, guys. I want to talk to you guys about my numbers. This has been really, really super cool. It has been growing like crazy. I'm going to pull some numbers up here for you. And I'm blown away. And thank you to all the new guys, too, who are on the channel. And who have subscribed. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody who's sharing the channel too. It's really helping us grow. So right now for the views, I'm up to 1,293,809 views. That is super awesome. And I'm up to, what was it there? 6,170, I think 76 subscribers. So once again, thank you guys. Really, really appreciate that. I just picked up a Suzuki FA. I love the FA50. I've been looking for an FA50. My father had an FA50 before he passed away, and it was sky blue color. I love that bike. What a great bike! I'm trying to get my hands on one. And 200 is a pretty cool price to pay for that. Great job on that. Hey, Nicholas. Hey, Kevin. Currently restoring a MPO1 status. Any advice? What should I do? I don't understand. The Kickstarter has been soldered. I don't know what you mean by that. You mean like welded? Yeah, I don't know about famous, but I appreciate it. Oh, yours is red. Yeah. Yeah, that was the other one. I seen the red one. Oh, man, those are such cool bikes. Such cool bikes. Okay, yeah, so it's been welded. So you're going to have to use a grinder and grind it off. And then, unfortunately, you're going to have to replace the Kickstarter and the Kickstarter shaft. The MT... So that's a Kawasaki MT1. Is that what you have? I don't know what the 01 is. So I'm thinking it's a Kawasaki MT1. It's really, really cool bike. If it's the MT1, I have a couple of them. I have a 72 MT1. Yeah, okay. So yeah, exactly. KB75. Yep, I have a KB75. I have a MT1, and I have a KV75 that I put together from parts. I didn't do it on the channel. I didn't even know how much parts I had. So I put that thing together on. The only thing that's missing is a fuel tank and a seat. That's it. Lots of two-stroke mopeds. That's pretty cool. Actually, they didn't stop making them. They just don't sell them here. There is a couple of companies, Toma TOMTO, I think it is, that makes a moped. Um, they used to sell them at a catalog for under a grand. It's crazy. I actually have a couple of mopeds. I have a Honda Express 50, and I have a Yamaha LB50, which is the what you call it there, um, Yamaha. TC90, great bike. TC90. I actually have a complete exhaust system for a TC90 that I'm going to be using on a Kawasaki to get more power. So it's funny because you can take certain parts from other bikes and put them on your bike and get more power. But if you did it the other way around, it doesn't work. It's crazy. The baffle on that bike is awesome. Great bike. John, you get yourself a beautiful bike there. TC90. I gotta get some. I gotta get more Suzuki's. Oh yeah, they're on eBay. The Kickstarter on. So Nicholas, what I would do with the Kickstarter is you can go to Vintage Kawasaki. They have the Kickstarter. I believe they have a shaft too. You can go and check them out. Vintage Kawasaki .com, and they're out of, I believe they're out of Canada. What's the name? Oh yeah, the RV90, yeah, and the 125. Those have the big fat tires on them, which is pretty cool. Those are great for the beach if you're just trying to get around. They're really cool. Hey Frank, gotta love eBay. Yeah, absolutely. Wow, XL drain plug. Jeez and bro, that's a lot of money for a drain plug. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, that's a lot of money for a drain plug. But I mean, you know, they got you. They got you right by the you know what's, because they know that they can get that type of money for it. Probably don't even cost that money brand new. But what I would do before I paid that type of money for a drain plug is I would see if there's any compatible bikes, because you'd be surprised. You can go and get a XL 125 drain plug, and it'll have a different part number, but it'll be the same size, same threads, and it, instead of being, you know 10 millimeters thick, it'll be like 8 millimeters thick, and it will work just fine. I'm still collecting parts for my build, my KM100. I ordered connecting rods. Wow, that's a hell of a build right there. Now I'm assuming it got destroyed. The piston. That's the one thing. The only thing I didn't like about the KM100 is it has a small exhaust port. Like the KE100 has a big exhaust port. The KM exhaust was built perfectly. They did a great job with the way they constructed the muffler. However, the inlet pipe should have been bigger. All over the place. Oh, okay, yeah. See, sometimes you run into that, unfortunately. It's kind of one of those things. It's like, what do I do in this case? But, I mean, 25 bucks. Just don't over tighten it. Make sure, you put the gasket onto it and just snug it, and it'll last you. 25 bucks sounds like a lot of money for a drain plug. It is. But the throw you're going to have got to ride your bike is going to outweigh that 25 bucks. And that's really where the importance is. You'll get the fun out of the bike. What? Yeah, too much. Oh yeah. Spear. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they were building those things for a while. They were selling those things out of magazines, and I remember I used to get J.C. Whitney catalogs, and those things would be on the back page as an ad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have you ever done a troubleshooting video? I did. I actually have one on a KE100 on troubleshooting, not won't start and that sort of thing. And in my videos when I'm working on these bikes, I actually go over a lot of that type of stuff with you guys. So there is a lot in there, diagnostics and stuff like that. Most of the time, I can make it real simple for you. Most of the time, when a bike won't start, if it's got fuel and it's got compression and it doesn't have spark, it's the points, condenser, where are you? Condenser and spark plug. Replace those, you'll have spark. If your compression is over 120 psi, you're good. If your carburetor is clean and you can see through the jets, the bike will start. In the event that it got too much fuel and it flooded out, then you'll have to take your spark plug out, shut the petcock off. What I do to quickly do it is I pop the carburetor back off, I take off the carburetor bowl, drain it, put it back on, slap it back on the bike, hold it wide open throttle, and kick it until it starts. Once it starts, I keep the throttle on wide open until it starts to pick up, because it's going to start off slow. And then when it starts to go, then you can let off the throttle so you don't blow up your engine. But that's how you would unflood a flooded motor. So that's pretty much the gist of it. It's real simple, real simple. Do you have any aftermarket exhaust recommendations, Baron? All the two strokes. Well, it depends on. So I have what do you call it there? Liquid. What's that company called? I forgot what it's called, but I'm using a custom exhaust built for a Kawasaki KE100, and I actually did a video on that. There's so many of them out there. You really have to. You have to do your research depending upon your bike. The exhaust system can make or break a bike if it's put on there correctly. So you can't just go and buy an FMH pipe or whatever it is. You can't just grab that pipe and throw it on your bike and rip it. Because now when you change your exhaust, you have to jet the carburetor. If you don't jet this to match your exhaust, you're going to have a lean condition. You're going to blow it up. So make sure that you do that properly. And I'm going to be doing videos on that coming up. Oh, okay, yeah. So it ran out of two-stroke oil, burnt up the motor. Yeah. Unfortunately, that happens. It's one of those things. They should have a safety on there where when you get to a certain point, it kills it. I always do because these bikes are vintage, you really have to treat them like a Model T car. And what I mean by that is you need to check your oil frequently. You need to make sure that the two-stroke oil, what I do with that is I always make sure I have a half a tank all the time. Half a tank or better. I prefer a full tank of oil, but I do not let it get any lower than a half a tank. And I always check my oil before every ride. Part of that has to do with the amount of bikes I have. I have a lot of bikes. When you have a lot of bikes like I do, it's very hard to remember how much oil is in each one. So I always do the half a tank rule. It's very important to make sure that these vintage bikes have oil. And I get a lot of flack because I changed all my bikes over to CDI. I have to, because I have too many bikes, and if I don't, the amount of points I'm going to have to buy for bikes, it would be ridiculous. So, to save myself some money, I changed them all over to CDI. But that's one of those things. Make sure half a tank of oil or better. If it doesn't have a half a tank of oil, I don't run them. I just don't, because I don't want to accidentally forget that I'm below a half. Then the next time I put straight gas in the motor, in the engine tank, and then I don't put any two-stroke oil in it, and that's how it happens. And it's a real simple thing. So every time I go to get on my bike, I pop the seat so I know how much oil I have. I'm thinking about putting a big bore kit on it. Yeah, and absolutely. If you can bump that thing up to 70 cc's, you're gonna feel that type of power. But if you're gonna do a big bore kit, make sure you jet it, because if you don't, that's a big upgrade. So you can jet the carburetor and get even more power out of it. It's a great Survivor, beautiful Montgomery Green. That's cool, John. That's awesome. You'll have to send me some pictures to. Yeah, send me some pictures of that. That would be super cool. I just put my email up there for you. I get to, it's funny because I'm sitting here at the house, and I get a lot of comments on what do you call it, YouTube all the time. So I give out my number, and people text me and call me, and that sort of thing. And I love it when I'm talking with you guys on the phone, and I know you guys a lot of times feel like you're talking to a celebrity, and I'm not a celebrity, guys. I am just a teacher. That's it. And my goal for you guys is to get your bikes running. I want to give you guys accurate information, but at the same respect, I want you guys to understand you're dealing with a vintage bike. You're not dealing with a KDX. I got people telling me, "Oh, I disconnected my oil pump 26 years ago. I should have brought that in." I have on Ken's bike. Ken was watching one of my videos, and this is why he took his bike apart. His bike hasn't been running right, and he wanted to put the oil tank back on the bike and get the whole bike running again. Well, he took the rotary valve off, the cover off, and I'm going to show you in the first look video, but you'll see all the damage done to the rotary valve. It literally wore the chrome plating right off of it, and on both sides. I mean, it's really bad. And so he replaced it with a new old stock one. And I'm going to show you guys that on the video. I should have brought it in the house tonight, but yeah, I mean, you guys got to make sure you put these bikes back to the way they were intended. And then if you want to take it from there and go do performance stuff, just remember, you're dealing with a vintage bike. And new technology, the bikes don't like. They just don't like it. It's one of those things, So make sure that you bring these bikes back to where they were before you start bolting all kinds of crazy stuff on. There's a couple of people I see running around, and they got tubes into tubes, and they're running one of these carburetors, and the bike. There we go. Right here. When the bike goes about that far open, the bike is screaming, and they can't go full throttle, because if they go full throttle, they'll blow that motor apart. So they go, whap, whap. Let me tell you something about that. That is too much for that little engine, and I'm going to be doing a video on carburation and selecting a proper carburetor, performance carburetor for your KE100, because they are out there. I'm going to show you guys where to find them and what to use on them. Because this is too much, and this don't even fit under the cover. So they have this big beastly carburetor hanging off the side of the motor, right where their foot is, by the way. So your foot's here for your brake on your peg. The cover is off the motor. There is no air filter, so all that dirt is just getting sucked right in. Don't do that. Don't put a cone filter on it either, because when you're going, now all the water's hitting it. We don't want to do that either, So make sure that you're not running one of these oversized carburetors on your little bike. And they're not jetted correctly either. You got to remember that too. There's only one jet. How do they know what you have for parts on your bike? They don't. So keep that in mind. And when you buy a Chinese carburetor, 9 out of 10 times there is no numbers on the jet. It is whatever they made it, and we don't know what the specs are. So when that happens, then guess what? We don't know what's going on, so those jets become obsolete and we can't use them. And I'm going to show you guys in a future video, relatively soon. I'm going to be doing a video on jetting, but I'm going to show you guys how to get more power out of your factory setup just by changing a jet. And it should be interesting. You guys are going to like it and what you guys can do. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up. I'm also going to be doing a video coming up on young creators. Young creators is something I've been talking about for a little bit. I got to do it. I have my son Andrew, who's a gamer, my niece Gianna, who has her channel, and I'm going to get those two together. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to be doing a video on young creators that you guys can share with your family and friends, and you guys can subscribe to their channel. It's cool if you have kids. My niece Gianna did one on how to put a hair bun in. Andrew does documentaries on Switch games and that sort of thing. So we have some more YouTubers in the family, and I'm going to be exposing them to the world with you guys. So you guys will be able, if you guys have young kids, families, friends who are into that stuff, young girls, young boys that they want to watch it and subscribe to, they can. It's got some good, clean content in it, and also they're very talented. So you'll get to see all that. So that'll be coming up soon. So it'll be really cool. And yeah, my niece Gianna, she did all of her own editing. Her videos are awesome. I'm a super huge fan. So really cool. And what else we got going on? The Suzuki LT125 that's out back. When my computer went down, I had already did the videos and I lost all the content on that bike. So I built my LT125, put it all together. So I'm going to be doing what I call a crash video, which I'll be showing you guys all what I did to it and the parts and pieces. And I'm putting lawn and garden tires on that as well, so I can run it on the yard. And that's one that came from Harvey Spooner. In fact, that CT70 also came from Harvey Spooner, so we have some stuff going on there too as well. So a lot of cool stuff. And what else we got? I think that's it, really. You guys saw the first look. Did you guys see not the first look? The what do you call it? Elvin's bike startup. That bike. When I did the video, I didn't have any gas to throw in it. And then when I was doing Dave's bike, I put some gas in it. That bike just came right to life. Very happy with the way that came out. Having these bikes just come to life. So it's a lot of fun. A lot. What else we got? I can't think. What are you guys working on? What else is going on with you guys? You guys doing any fun and exciting projects? So here we go. You guys doing any fun, exciting modifications or anything? We got. Let's see. Okay, right here. Allow. There's a valve on the bottom of the carburetor. Yes, front side. That might be Jimmy, your needle and seat. I want to check that. Great chat. Thanks. Looking forward. Oh, you're absolutely welcome, Nate. Absolutely welcome. There is, like I said, there is. I just love the way they fire right up after you get done doing them. And as you guys see on the channel, I do everything correctly. I try to go through them front to back, top to bottom, and that's what makes these bikes. When you start looking, get picky. Take your bike and get picky. If you see if your brake lever, your clutch lever is bent, be picky about that. Take it off, take a rubber mallet, put it on a block of wood, and straighten it out. and then it's done. Then bolt it back on and readjust. Get picky with your bikes. Get them back to where they need to be, where you're comfortable on the bike, where you like the bike, where you enjoy the bike. These are all important things. Because if you're not comfortable or not happy on your bike, what's the purpose of riding it, So, it's awesome. Will any VM Pony Jet fit in my 77? No. No, because the jets are all different sizes. So you need to see what jet you have. And then you always start with a bigger jet and work your way down. Because you don't want to lean out the bike. And it's very important that you do it that way. When you put the big jet in, you're going to hear the bike blah, 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 blah. It's not going to want to run right. You're going to have low power. Then you go to, like, say you put in like an 89 jet and it doesn't like that jet. Well, then you go to an 88, 87, 86 until you can dial in where the bike gets absolute most power. Then that's your jet. No big project, just trying to get and revive my old KE100. That's awesome, mate. Yeah, what year's your KE100? I forgot. I think you told me. I plan on getting a jet kit. I call it a cheater kit. So you can go online and first you take your carburetor off and take a look and see what number of jets you have. Okay? Then you're going to want to go and get the kit 2000. Oh, yeah, that's right. You said that. Yeah, 2000. That bike has CDI ignition. You're going to love it. James, on yours, what you're going to do is take your jet out and you want to read your pilot jet and your main jet, not just the main jet. Because what's going to happen is when you change your jet, the relationship between your pilot and your main are going to be off. All right? If you step up your main jet and not your pilot, you're going to have a dead spot in the carburetor. So what you're going to do is you want to get a few different of each jet. So you want to go up 3 on each one and then see where they are. Start with the biggest ones and work your way down. It's going to be very helpful for you because you have to dial in the transition between idle, which is from when the slide is all the way down to a quarter throttle, and then when you go from the what do you call it there, quarter throttle to full throttle. If your jets aren't in relation, you're going to have a dead spot. So you're going to hit that. It's going to go, and that's what does that. I see a lot of people change their main jets and go, why do I have this dead spot? I never had this before. You just ruined your relationship between the two. They have to. The fuel has to transition from pilot to main. So you're welcome. That should help you out when you're doing that. It's very important to do that, and that's even on a car. You gotta make sure you're doing all your jets correctly. The power jet will cause restriction. The pilot jet would give you a high idle, a low idle, or a high idle, or it just wouldn't idle correctly. Or actually, if you get the factory jet in there, the bike's gonna idle perfectly fine. It's gonna no problem between idle and a quarter throttle. But if you change just your big jet, when it goes from the quarter throttle to where the main jet kicks in, that's when the problem is going to happen. Oh yeah, at high RPM, the pilot jet's not going to matter. You're just going to have a dead spot between your pilot and your main if you don't bump up the pilot. Like I said, you want that transition to be smooth. You don't want to have a spike in your power band or a dip, I should say, a dip in your power band. You want to make sure that it's just a smooth transition right up the RPM range. That's very important. And it'll also help you when you're shifting and all that. When you get the more power out of your bike, you're going to notice the bike is going to perform different. It's going to be a totally different animal. It's going to even corner different because now you got more power going into turns and climbing. Um, Jetting a carburetor can literally make or break a bike. It can make it a whole lot nicer to ride, or it can make it a whole lot miserable. Especially if I put in the biggest jet I can. It starts and runs. I'm leaving it. Okay, but what's it running like? Well, I don't have as much power as I did. Okay, and I keep following plugs. All right, that's because your jet is too big. Because that's the other thing that will happen. If your jet is too big, you're going to start following out plugs all the time. So you want to make sure that you're not getting to that point. You don't want to be going through gas like crazy. So, and that comes with that type of torque. That comes with a lot of efficiency because these bikes were designed to ride on the street primarily, and you go to the gas station, you just put gas in it, and then you ride on to your next stop or wherever you're going to go. If you performance it and you put bigger jets are going to drink more fuel, and then you go into gas stations more quickly. And what most bikes would be getting for gas mileage, your bike will be getting less. So that's one of the cons to doing jetting and performance stuff because you actually lose gas mileage. So basically, when the bike was designed, it was designed for its efficiency, emissions, and to be able to be driven on the road for long distances. Once again, when you change things like that, it alters that. It alters that number. Ugh. Man, I am blown away how hot and tired I am. It's been crazy. It has been absolutely nuts. I'm so tired, it's not even funny. I did, man, I worked a while today too. I helped them out. We were moving big, heavy things and furniture and stuff in the wretched heat. And, whew, I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. The heat takes a toll on you. My back is sore too. That doesn't help. But yeah, what are you gonna do? You roll with the punches, you know. But we're gonna be out there a lot more. I'm thinking about getting another motorcycle table, lift table, only because I have so many projects, and I'm thinking about getting rid of more stuff. So once I figure out all the logistics of it, I think it because we're going to be taking this to a whole new level. So um, there's a lot of parts, pieces, and everything else. I got milk crates of shocks. I got more side covers than I'll ever need. So that sort of thing. So I want to get rid of some of that.
Do you relax on my room?
Huh?
Do you relax on my room?
No, you're good.
It's volume 3, so
Okay.
it should be fine.
All right, perfect. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. I heard something like on my door.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Maybe it's just that my door doesn't stay on well. Maybe I need a new door.
All right, well, we'll talk about it after I'm doing this. Oh, you're welcome, Nate. Hey, enjoy Florida. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, the guy's asking me questions about Alexa. He has one in his room. He loves it. If you have a talk code for it. No, unfortunately, not for the KE 175. I have a ton of them for the KE 100s. When I started doing the channel, I had acquired a ton of KE 100s, literally coming out of the woodwork. I'm not even kidding you. And they came from places you wouldn't even think they came from. Let me explain. I was helping a buddy of mine out, and we were at a little old lady's house. I know it sounds like a one of those make believable stories. Nope, I literally was at an elderly lady's house. She had a walker and everything. Okay, and we were taking a lawnmower out of her shed, and there was a KE 100 in there, and asked me if I wanted it. Well, yeah. So we took the bike out, and the bike was just you guys probably saw it. It's that red one that was on Craig. I got it from Craigslist. I got the lawnmower, so the bike was just mangled. I mean, missing everything. The bike looked like a total wreck. I couldn't believe how bad it was. But I get it. They come out of the woodwork. Now every bike is coming out of the woodwork. It's really crazy. The weather's been turning the tide, and people are bringing everything to me. So it's been crazy. It's been crazy, and it's getting to the point where we're going to be stepping it up a little bit more. So I think that what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get another lift table, and I'm going to rearrange the shop, and I'm going to keep doing it, that way. And I might do. I think next year, if everything works out, if there's someone in the area who wants to learn a trade, I might literally take them under my wing and teach them you know, a hands-on trade. So I'm thinking about doing something like that. I have some things to work out, though. I got a lot on my plate. I'm still trying to figure out the T-shirt thing, um, T-shirts and hats and that sort of thing for the channel. I mean, the channel's growing by crazy numbers, so it's getting up there, guys. It really is getting up there, and um, I never expected it to get to this point. You know what I mean? It was so hard just to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then after 1,000, 6,000 was easy. Honestly, it was simple. It just happened. The channel just exploded. It's growing fast. I'm like, oh my god, I got to keep up. I have to keep up with a channel that I made, and that I never thought was going to happen, to be honest with you. So, thank you guys for all your support, sharing the channel, the thumbs up, and all that. That really helps out the channel. Still not making any real much money on the thing. It's about under $200 a month. It's like 175 or something like that. But I'm not doing merchandise. I'm not doing any of that stuff yet. And my thing is, I am not doing a Patreon account. I'm not going to do that. I won't do that because my live chats are for everybody. I'm not like, I watch these people online like, oh yeah, subscribe and join. Hit the join button, and they got this whole thing. You have to pay every month for their content. No, I'm not doing that. That's not what this channel was built on. This channel was built on getting your bikes up and going and teaching you guys my knowledge and on these bikes. So, and I'm going to stay true to that. So I just want you guys to have my word on that. I picked the direction for the channel, and I'm staying on that direction. So that's what we're going to go with that. So, but guys, I'm going to head out. I'm going to cut it early tonight. And normally I go until 9 o'clock. I am just beat so badly tonight. But next week, we're going to be doing it by request on Monday. We're going to be doing what are we going to call Monday? We'll call it Mini Bike Monday because I have a mini bike coming up on Monday. So we'll call it Mini Bike Monday. That's what we're going to do. Next week is going to be Mini Bike Monday by request from a fellow subscriber. And I try to listen to your requests. I try to, take in what you're saying, see if I can change a few things around and make it work. But yeah, I think we're going to do it on Monday next week. And that should really help you guys out. And once again, if you guys have a topic and you guys want to talk it up, bring it up. If you guys are stuck on something, a clutch cover or a head or whatever it is that you're stuck on, bring it up in the chats and we can work on it. We can talk about it. Or you guys can hit me up on Instagram. I'm on Instagram now. You can hit me up on Facebook. Send me a request. If I have like some parts, I can bring them into the like I show you guys on a carburetor. If you guys have a question, let me know what it is, and if I have the part handy, I can bring it on the chat and I can show you. Okay, well you got to do this, this, and this. How do you adjust this? Well, the adjustment screw's right here. It's on the side. Where's the choke located? Well, the choke's on top. You know what I mean? Just as an example. But if you guys have any questions where you're stuck, that's what I want to do. I want to be helping you guys out with these type of things and answering your questions. So it's a great time to hang out. I love hanging out with you guys. You guys are awesome. And I really, honestly, I have the best subscribers on YouTube are on this channel. And I keep saying that, and I mean it, because you guys have come up with some great questions. You guys have asked. We have been in contact with a lot of you guys. I literally have a contact list that's full. Okay, and I enjoy talking with you guys. So it's really super cool. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna end it. I'm extremely tired. I'm gonna go get some shut eye. So we went a little over an hour tonight, so that's cool. And then I promise you on Monday when we do it, we'll go to the full 9 o'clock. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me and subscribing, and thank you for the thumbs up. They really mean a lot. I appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome. And I'll talk to you later. I'm out.